What up, what up, what up? It's your boy Oshin. This is Oshin's View. You already know who I'm in the building with, Willie Negro.
What up, what up, what up, what up?
We got to put this to sleep, and I don't even know if it's going to be able to put it to sleep, because if I hear the term high value anymore, I'm just going to start being like, you know what? It's time to just start being low value, low functionality, and just let that be the thing. Because her name, Dr. Bryant, young lady, woman that got into it with Corey Holcomb over a few comments that he's made and things like that or whatever. Her and Jess Hilarious, who Corey Holcomb called less hilarious, which was funny to me.
It's a good joke.
They kind of said some things about him after he appeared on Cam Newton's show and everything. And, he was talking about, how he has money and he likes chicks that pretty much are low functioning in terms of value, money and places to live and poverty and things like that. And I guess it was a lot of jokes, but he was serious with a lot of it. And they kind of went in on him. So Charlamagne later asked her about what is a high value man.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
Dr. Bryant. He asked
her that. On its surface, she kind of gave the answer that I kind of already thought. High value. I thought, matter of fact, let me correct that. I thought when women said high value, that they actually were talking a lot deeper than just the pockets. Silly of me to think that they were thinking something else. She straight up said, just a guy that has a lot of money or has high value.
But we're not going to skip past, Kevin Samuels kind of coined that term, the high value man. And he was talking about a man that has a lot of money. You know what I mean? Or a man, not just a lot of money, the man that was over 6 feet tall, all of the qualities that women are looking for. And he was saying that a man is high value because many women desire him.
Okay, all right. Fine. See, this is why we got checks and balances. But it's no different than what we talk about a lot when we say it's the fantasy. Like the guy that most women want him. So when you're saying you would rather deal with this and the nonsense that comes along with dealing with somebody that has a lot of finances, what do we always say? For how long? Because at some point, there's definitely an expiration date in that kind of going forward on that kind of relationship when women are saying, I'd much rather deal with this than that. Because the problem is, the guys understand that too. Oh, you only here because of this.
Yeah.
And I think women don't realize how much the guy understands what role he plays in all this too. He's like, look here, you're here because I can do X, Y, Z. And I get it. I allow you to be here because you look like ABC that I want. You know what I'm saying? On the surface. So everybody's getting what they want. The problem lies when now you're in the race of who is tired first. Are you tired? Is he tired of looking at this bad chick and he can bone her but so many times and go on trips and all this other stuff? And her, how long are you going to deal with? Here's the Birkin bag. Here's the Louis bag. Here's the trip to Dubai.
So then, is everybody really getting what they want then? You see what I'm saying? So we talk about the reality is a lot of women, because Corey Holcomb was talking in his interview about, as long as he got bread and he can have a little hood chick that, got low self-esteem and ain't got nothing, as long as it's them chicks in the world, then he gonna be fine because he could always get a chick. You see what I'm saying? So, in a part of what Dr. Bryant says is that men like that prey on low functioning women. You see what I'm saying? Who don't have things. And I say, everything is a manipulation, like in a relationship, especially in the beginning. Everything is kind of a manipulation. You kind of manipulate the situation to get what you want out of it. You know what I mean? Because Dr. Brian always also talked about these high value men putting babies in women and not marrying them. You see what I'm saying? Well, you know, I say that's twofold. One, if you have sex, you can have a baby. So sometimes you don't mean to, and if you have a lot of resources, your pull-out game might not be strong. You don't care. You see what I'm saying? But the other thing is, hey man, some of these women look good, and procreating with them might not be bad, but being with them might not be the best. You see what I'm saying? So I say that to say this. I think a lot of people go into relationships, not just high volume men, everybody go into relationships thinking that they want one thing, especially when you're young. And when you in this relationship, you come to find out that, you know, everything that you want, all the tangible things that you want, when you acquire those things from the relationship, like the sex, man might want some sex, and man, women might want the security and or the money of everything, traveling and all that. What you really just desire is, you know, a companion that makes you feel good. You know what I mean? And that person that provides the money for the woman, or even that woman that provides this great sex or this trophy for a man, may not be the best companion.
You said something, and I was thinking about this just not too long ago. I'm starting to believe that the goal is and should be companionship. Now, I'm starting to think, you know, marriage is the afterthought a lot of times. As it probably could be. Just follow me for a second. The more you was just talking just now, I started thinking of past relationships that I've had and women that I've dealt with. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna keep it real. Outside of course, being attracted to somebody, want somebody attractive, I've kind of always knew what I wanted in a woman. And I'm not saying that to be cool. Like, I kind of always have. There's a line in the movie Paid in Full, scene where Ace, played by Woods Harris, and his girlfriend, I think that was Regina Hall. Anyway, he was like, I'm not that boring. And he put a stack of money on the table. And she was like, I'm not with you for this. I'm with you because I'm boring too. And that part probably gets washed over in the movie because of how good the movie was and everything. And it really didn't stand out. But it stood out to me because it spoke to me in terms of the kind of relationships that I've kind of always wanted. It was always kind of like, I like things more in common as opposed to opposite. See, a lot of people, they get caught up with the, opposites attract and this, that, and the third. And the first thing I always say when people say that is, I'm like, yo, we're not science projects. These aren't ions and all those other things. I get it. And I get it. You may do some things and open my eyes up to certain things and vice versa. But we can't be so different that we're strangers. You see what I'm saying? Like that. Because now we're always sacrificing to do something that the other person wants to do that you're really not interested in doing. As opposed to that commonality, but like, oh, such and such is on. That's what we into. That's what we watch. My homeboy has to tell him because his wife was into watching like shows and series and things like that. And he used to ask me like, yo, she liked them dumb shows and stuff. I'm like, won't you watch one with her? I said, just one. Yeah, maybe you may not like all of them.
Right.
But find one that you can watch from the beginning with her. If it's good, if it's cool, if it's hold your attention, that can be your thing. And I said, yo, it's kind of two birds in one stone. You get to give quality time without even having to concentrate on giving the quality time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if it's, what is that? I said Lord of the Rings. No, what's the thing with the dragon that everybody be watching?
What you call it? Damn, you done said.
I said Lord the dragon. Hold up.
I'm only thinking of the new one. The new one's called House of Dragons, but it's not House of Dragons. It's
somebody's watching this.
You fucked me up because you called Lord of the Rings. This is disgusting. I watched the whole thing.
Clearly, and somebody's watching this right now, and they're clearly saying the answer is the dragons. No, we got to get that damn name.
Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones. Thank you. Game of Thrones. Okay. Man, it's mad seasons with that joint too. Yeah. So you got to catch up. But I get it. But you got to do something. But I think a lot of times, women, like I said, women are willing to sacrifice things that they don't like that the guy like. I do think guys need to sacrifice a little more for things that your woman likes to do that you might not be too keen on doing.
I think that we make sacrifice. I just don't think that, you need to do everything together. You know what I mean? Like, I don't, you will always be an individual. You know what I mean? So on that point, yes, you need to do things with your significant other, but you can be an individual too. You don't have to like, I don't think you have to like everything that they're into or all the things they're into. You do have to have something in common. What you need in common is life goals. You know what I mean? I don't think that a person that is content with, a decent lifestyle, making six figures and buying a decent house and having a kid and riding off into the sunset is very compatible with somebody who wants to be a millionaire and, wants to only drive the expensive cars and do the expensive things. Like, I don't think those type of people are compatible. You have to have similar life goals and life expectations. My question to you was, because I heard in another interview that people get married for love too much. You know what I mean? Like, that people get married for love, and they should more get married, marry a person that's compatible with them and loyal to them, and then love will grow from that. I don't know how I feel about that statement. So I don't know. I do think that you should not only get married for love. You can, I always say, it's called fall in love for a reason. You cannot help who you fall in love with, but you always can help who you are with, who you choose to be with. So I don't think you should solely get married for love, but I think that some love should be there, though. I don't know.
I believe definitely love has to be at the forefront. The sole reason, it definitely has to have a lot of compatibility with it.
Yeah.
How they say marriage is a business decision and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
Guess so. I think a lot of it, and I'm probably going to beat around the bush with it, this whole power couple thing and all this other stuff, I don't know how many people aspire to be that or whatever. And the thing about it is this. This is why I love the bum-ass couple. Because the bum-ass couple is, they're in it for each other. And it's like, if things come from it financially, then so be it. But if not, you like hot dogs, I like hot dogs too. Oh, we only got 3 hot dogs here, pork and beans. Now, I'm not saying people being dead broke. I say that even for people that just have, both parties might make decent amount of money, maybe nothing too extra. Let's just say, I'm just throwing a number there because I don't want people discredit. Let's just say $50,000 a piece for both of them. Individually, $50,000 for somebody could be cool. You figure together. Well, I'm just saying.
2024.
Depending on. Nah, you know what? I'm not going to say that because people live how they want to live, honestly.
Yeah.
And the thing is, I think I try not to down somebody because somebody is saying, because we got to correct that. $50,000, you can live a decent life by yourself. You know what I'm saying? Now, the difference is this. Maybe I won't. Maybe clearly, maybe you won't.
Yeah.
But we're not going to act like 50,000 on its surface.
Yeah, 100%.
That's all I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This is why I don't like to disrespect people, because money's a sensitive topic for a lot of people. And I just don't like to be, because I've been at a point where I've only made $10.70 and I was knocking down joints that niggas would have been paying all kind of bread to get next to. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that ain't it or whatever. So...
Well, why? All right, now it's going to get interesting.
Now we flowing, yeah.
Why you go to that gauge, though? Like, why do niggas go to that gauge? Like, you said I was making $10 and some odd dollars an hour and still knocking down joints that, people would have paid to knock down. Why do you think men, like, that's the gauge that men use? You know what I mean?
I'm gonna tell you exactly why that's the gauge. Dude I know, we do a show together. His name is William Mathis. He said, and I quote, "Men understand the pecking order."
Yeah, they do.
And according to the pecking order, that shouldn't be happening.
Yeah,
that's why. So that is the thing we'll hang our hat on, because when you're making $10.70, and I'm not capping.
Yeah.
I was making $10.70. And I was getting it in. Now the difference is this. Somebody probably looking at us like, yeah, you probably was lying and all this other stuff. Actually, I wasn't. Now, if they ask me, did I have a job? Yes, I have a job. That's the truth. Most people don't ask you directly how much money you make. Like that's ballsy to ask somebody how much money they make, especially when y'all not even in that kind of relationship. I'm pretty decent dresser. I'm going to be clean. I'm going to be presentable or whatever. Okay, I don't have a car. That might raise it at the time. That might raise an eyebrow. Like, well, why don't you have a car? But the difference was I worked down the street. So it's kind of like, it kind of gave the little excuse of, well, it ain't like he take the bus to work. He walks to work. He's right there. He lives alone still. You know what I'm saying? Like that. He does, it's pretty clean in here. Da-da-da-da-da. He's got furniture. Okay. For whatever he's doing all right for himself. Maybe not to the point where he has a car yet at the time, but he's doing all right. We understand the pecking order for the same reason why when we get a few dollars, the first thing we say, to go back to your original question, when we get a few dollars, oh, this is easy now. Because now we like, oh, I was doing my thing then. Now, guess what? You said you want to go out tonight? I can actually take you out without it affecting everything else I got going on over here. Because I'd say it like this. I remember one time I was dealing with this chick. It pretty much was a one-nighter. I didn't know it was going to be a one-nighter, but it turned into it. So I met this chick at the club. We got the dancing and stuff. The vibe was right. The sexual tension was in the air. My BGE was out. I knew this already.
Yo.
Hold up. I knew it was out. I knew it was out.
Not the gas and electric.
Gas and electric is off. My lights are off. So we get back to the crib. So she walks in. I drove with her. Well, I rode with her. We get back to the crib. I walk in. Click. I know for a fact it's out. I'm like, man, can you believe this? I just paid my bill. I done paid my stuff. Shorty goes like this. He was like, yo, she says, yo, that happened to me before too. I said, yo, first thing in the morning, I called up, knowing 2 a.m. ain't nothing happening. I gotta call them up. They took about 6 o'clock in the morning. I gotta call and the representative be there. She was like, yeah, you gonna get that straight. I was like, look, I got these candles though. I just happen to have candles. I light the candles, bang, bang, bang. I gave her the best hour and a half of loving she ever had.
Oh my goodness.
She left, man, I went right over to my cousin's house right there. But this is what I'm saying. I'm looking like, yo, but it's pecking order. I understood where I stood at the time. You see what I'm saying? So it's always like, dang, you still doing your thing even though you know you're behind the 8 ball? So.
Yeah. A lot of guys can't though. A lot of guys don't know how to navigate that situation, man. That I just find it interesting. And I was kind of being rhetorical when I was asking that question, but I just find it interesting that guys kind of boost their own self-esteem by, yeah, I still get chicks even though I'm broke, or even though I'm this, or even though I'm that. You know what I mean? Because it be their shortcomings. It's a shot at your shortcomings. Is a shot at your ego.
Yes.
But as long as you can get women, you can kind of boost your self-esteem. I mean, yeah, I mean, yo, it's crazy. Let me see what else we got with this thing.
No,
man.
what you call it? This was crazy.
It was a joint account.
No, he married a woman and said, I trust you with the finances. Don't worry about I'ma work. I'ma trust you with the finances. So if I put my trust in you to make sure that you keep the finances and you pulling money out on the low for years, you're stealing. It's not stealing. It's stealing.
I don't know. Well, that's the wrong word.
Because
I definitely, that's a form of stealing. That's a form of stealing. I'm sorry. He's trusting you with the finances to pay the bills, to do the things. Of course, there will be some dipping in, go shopping, do things like that. But if you up here trying to make a rainy day type of exit and having money to the side, and he's thinking XYZ, well, if you're married, you can't really use the term stealing, but
it's still stealing.
It's still stealing.
Legally, it's not stealing. But
yes, legally,
if I'm working and I'm giving you all of the money to pay the bills. Here, I'm just going to work. You at home, you rearing children and everything, but I'm giving you all of the money to pay the bills, and you skimming off the money for a exit strategy. That's stealing. That's crazy. For the same reason that if marriage is a business. Like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if we in this business together, right? And I'm trusting you with the financial part of this business. You know what I mean? I'm doing the day-to-day operations. I'm trusting you with the financial part of the business, but you skimming money off of our business for your personal account. Would that be stealing? Even though we in business together, and this is our money, but I don't know where our money is going. It's going into your personal account. You see what I'm saying? So would that not be stealing?
I'm saying, I think what makes it stealing is the fact you didn't say anything about it.
Yeah.
I think you didn't say anything about it or whatever. And it's just always a slippery slope. Like you said, legally, it's not that if you're married. But there's people that do that with girlfriends and things like that. That's absolutely stealing. But I'm just saying, this whole episode, it's a lot of things that I think you get into relationships, the older you get, everything is about tolerance, and you're basing a lot of things you do and have done off of past relationships. And
right.
Now everybody's trying to cut down on the hurt, the disappointment, and this, that, and the third. And I think that's the beauty of relationships. I never believe that you can actually truly succeed in a relationship unless you're in a position to get hurt.
Yeah.
You have to get in
vulnerability.
To win, yes, thank you. Vulnerability. To win, you got to be in the position to lose. You know what I'm saying? And that's just how that one is. But if you're just on some I'm prepared for everything, because you're waiting for a storm that may never come. And whether you know it or not, your behavior it's going to exude from you that you're not fully in. Oh, and why do you think you say things like, this is when I knew this was going to happen. I knew at this point you was going to do it. And that's like, it's always funny to me when you hear guys that are cool and then they get into a fight or argument, like, yo, I never liked you. I'm like, never? Like, that's just crazy to me. So you've been around me all this time, and it's the same in a relationship. So you've been around me all this time. You never really rocked with me. You were waiting for me to do something like this. I was waiting for the second shoe to drop. And I think that's literally what makes relationships the merry-go-round that they are.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like that. And like I quoted in one of my joints before, I said something to the effect of, there's no love, and now we both back in the club. You see what I'm saying? Like, we're back to square one. And square one is always there, and it's always going to be alive and well as long as people actually keep changing what it is they're really looking for. Because people start putting things out on other people and be like, yeah, I'm looking for this. I'm sorry, this has got to be a woman's turn. I'm dating to get married. I ain't never heard no dude say he's dating to get married. I ain't never heard no dude say that. Now, a dude can say he's dating for, to be together. You
don't think that some men date with a purpose? Women be saying that's the woman term. I'm dating with a purpose.
Thank you. That's what it is.
You know what I mean? You don't think that some men date with a purpose?
Rich dudes.
Why rich dudes? Why?
I'm gonna tell you why. Because I feel a lot of rich dudes, it's about check off lists. Like, I'm successful. My business is running, whatever the business is, or whatever, how you get your money, whatever. This is up and running. I don't have kids. I don't have this family. They're looking for something, because subconsciously they think just like the women when it comes to that, I could just go out here and get that. Oh, I'm going to meet this interesting looking woman. She's very attractive. But then you seeing, hey, I had a conversation with her, and this ain't what it's hitting for. She just looks good or whatever. And let me tell y'all women something else too. A lot of women be boring. And I've had my fair share of boring women. And I've had my fair share of, this chick was a little fun. And I'm not even talking sexually. You're just talking about like they just cool. I don't think, you said it episodes before, women don't respect the hangout. The woman that respects the hangout and can do that and it's not so much to say be one of the guys, but just understanding of that space and time, they the one. And they the ones that get the guy to be like, so what you watching? Gilmore Girls? Oh, well. And then, you know what I'm saying, whatever. They go and do some of the foolish things or whatever. I know me personally, I'm entertaining, especially one-on-one with chicks. Like, I'm silly. Like, I have no problem being silly around a woman. And I don't think a lot of dudes are. You know what I'm saying? Like, dudes just be kind of, everybody, you can't be too cool for school when it's you and your woman.
I do think more women date with a purpose than men. Yeah. And I think it's because, women actually have a biological clock. You know what I mean? Like, they actually, you know what I mean? If they want something shaken, they need to do it within this time frame. Men, not so much. Men, who about to, Boosie about to have a baby with some young girl, yo. Boosie got to be almost 50. You know what I mean?
And he got mad kids already, don't he?
And he got mad kids, yeah. Boosie is crazy, man.
He tripping. What you call it? People be getting kids like they're novelties. I'm like, yo, don't be bringing life into this world, you know what I'm saying? And just be like, oh yeah, I got one now. I got
people with resources, like that love their kids, I think they be getting, like, I think they really get baby fever. Like, they really be wanting, I don't necessarily think they want another kid. They want another baby. You know what I mean? I'm just the opposite. I don't, like, the baby part is not my fun part. You know what I mean? I love, like, kids. You know what I mean? That like, probably my favorite age for my daughter was probably from that time, from maybe around 4 or 5 to like 8 or 9. It's the best years. Everything you do is the greatest. she learning the world for the first time and everything. Yeah, I love kids. I hate teenagers. You know what I mean? Teenagers are
Kill your damn nerves.
Teenagers think they know everything.
And
You know what I mean?
You don't know anything.
They know nothing and they think they know everything. You know what I mean? So I always think of stuff like that. When people be having kids, I be like, they grow up, right? Like, they not always going to be kids. I mean?
Yeah. They,
yeah.
Kamala, you want to talk about Kamala?
Well,
women are pissed off. Women are pissed off that she lost. Didn't really bother me. Not just because Trump won and it's whatever.
Why did she lose? That's the question. Why do you think she lost?
Plethora of reasons. I believe she got her votes. I told you I felt America is not ready. Just on small notes, America's not ready for a woman president. I wasn't big on, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't big on the whole white husband thing.
What do her white husband have to do with her being qualified to be the president of the United States?
Okay, good question. I'm glad you asked that because I didn't want to just go there. Fine. So let me ask you this. What does she identify as? Is she a woman of color? Does she identify as a woman of color?
She identifies as a woman of color, yes.
This was my issue. She identifies as a woman of color. The struggle, Obama doesn't win that election if he has a white wife. There are people, forget my personal feelings with that, but I too represent maybe 10 million people in the country that feel they're not going to vote for her just for that alone. White women and men alone and black men and women alone. She got a white husband. Things like that. I felt that Trump, you just know what you're getting out of him. Now, this is the thing. I don't know what she stood for because she did a bad job pandering. And the reason why I'm not going to answer the question about her qualifications, because when it comes to people of color, it's never about qualifications. It's never that. We be qualified for mad things, but those aren't the reasons why we're not getting the job and the thing done. Right. So that's why I'm not ignoring what you said, because I understand that she's qualified. Right. I'm brushing over that because that's kind of, it goes without saying, she clearly was the more qualified politician. But we all know it's politics. It's a reason why
it is
these
politics,
other things come into play.
So that reason that you said is a weird reason to me to not vote for Kamala. Like, because she has a white husband. So this black lady has a white husband, so you don't vote for the black lady as a black person and you vote for a white man?
Or maybe don't vote for him at all.
Or maybe don't vote. Well, that's where I'm in the minority. I don't feel like you have to vote. I think telling somebody they have to vote is a form of manipulation. You see what I'm saying? I think that if neither candidate is up to your liking, I don't think you have to vote. You see what I'm saying? Because what you're saying is, I don't care if either one of it, because to vote, I hate when people say, if you don't vote for this one, it's a vote for the other one. How?
Exactly. No, it ain't, because I didn't vote for them and they don't get the other vote either. Yeah, it works both ways. Yeah, I agree with that.
It works both ways. What if I don't like either candidate? You see what I'm saying? So I don't fall on that. I did vote, but I don't fall on that side of the spectrum. I don't feel like, especially black people, I don't feel like we should just vote just because we should vote. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that if it's a candidate that speaks to us specifically, then we should vote for that candidate. You see what I'm saying?
Do you think that Kamala spoke to black people or she spoke to women?
No, I don't think that she spoke to black men. I do think she spoke to women. I don't think she spoke to black men.
Yep.
But
yeah,
I don't think I don't think old boy did either. Like, I don't think Donald Trump did either.
This ain't about clearly, once again, we already know that. This is the difference with this. Well, he spoke to men in general, I think.
Okay.
Because he led with finances. So that's across the board.
He didn't
So
lead
I
with
think-
anything.
Well, I'm not talking about in terms of black, because we're never the first thought of anybody's. But what I'm saying is this. She spoke to women, and cool, you're a woman. Difference was this. When Obama was running his first campaign, we're not talking about his re-election.
Yeah.
His first campaign, he felt, he felt like we got one of ours in there. Because I think that was probably one of the most ignorant elections, and I don't mean ignorant in terms of people are stupid and anything, but I think people came out in the droves that normally don't care anything about elections, votes, or anything, because the whole feel was, this is our chance. We got to get him in the office, because if we don't, we're never going to get this close again. And the whole thing was this. I'm not saying Obama was he was the perfect candidate. He had a perfect storm of things going for him. What I'm saying is this. I don't know his full-fledged politics with a lot of things that were done, but it felt like we finally have one of ours in a position. What do they say? Yo, we got the inmates is running the jail. It felt like that. It didn't feel like that with Kamala, and I believe that she should have, that's the role she should have been going for, because women were going to support anyway. But I felt she had to dig her heels in and be like, yo, because she made a comment and I wasn't too keen on it. Oh, they was like, so you're going to do a lot of things for black people? She's like, no, I'm not going to just be a black president. I didn't like that saying, because my thing was this. They asked Obama the same type things. And of course, he gave a politically correct answer too. But the way he gave his answer, it still gave the feel like, you know, I'm definitely looking out for my peoples first. She never, and I want you to go, to me, she never gave a feel that it was really with us. And the fact that you got a white husband as well too,
It's because she's a politician. And so I just think that Obama and
Michelle?
Trump
Trump.
campaigned on the same change. They sold hope. They both sell hope.
Okay.
That's all they did. You don't need an agenda. You don't need to tell us what you're going to do. You just sell hope. You see what I'm saying? Nobody knows what Trump is going to do. Nobody knows. Like, he's in office. He's going to be in office, right? Nobody knows what he ran on. Nobody cares what he didn't say he was going to do anything. All he did was speak to the condition. You know what I mean? And he said he going to change the condition. And that's all people need, because it's tough out here right now, economically. You see what I'm saying? In 2024, it is tough out here for the average American just to survive. And he spoke to that. What I think she spoke to, because she did speak to a platform, an agenda just for black people. She did. She laid it out, the things that she was going to do. Well, nobody trying to hear that, though. She never spoke to the condition of America. You see what I'm saying? She never spoke to the condition. Now, to me, you know what I mean? I voted for Kamala. You know what I mean? I did, because I'm black. I'm going to vote for black people all the time. It's just how I am. Unless you just an asshole, then I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? And I thought she was I thought she was a good candidate, actually. And I think that, Trump is a lunatic. But, he's also a Republican. And, if you got a little bit of money, when a Republican is in office, you get a little bit of more money. Like, you get a little bit more money. It just is what it is. It's always, you know what I mean? So, like you said, women are mad. But I'm not, I'm not overly upset. You know what I mean? I wasn't crying. I know, you know what I mean? It is what it is. You know what I mean? He's been president before. You know what I mean? He get another 4 years. It is what it is. But I do think she lost because she lost the touch of the people. She was not inspiring at all. You know what I mean? She didn't sell hope well at all. You know what I mean? And it hurt her that she entered the race late, and it also hurt her that she was a part of this administration. You know what I mean? It's tough in America. You are the vice president. You know what I mean? You are the vice president in an economy that's really tough, and you never spoke to the things that you would do differently about the economy. You never distance yourself from Joe Biden. You know what I mean? You always have to distance yourself from the current administration because all of the things that's going wrong right now, you're a part of.
She to me ran her campaign based off of simply, I know y'all may not rock with me the most, but I know y'all don't want him in. And she underestimated the American people. And Trump ran his based off of, and I'm just super simplifying it, yo, she's a woman. She's a woman. I'm a white man. Literally. Like, that's it. Like, politics aside or stuff, he gambled on, this is what I don't believe y'all are going to vote for her over a man. And that's it.
Well,
and I
I don't think so at all. I think Trump ran on the same thing he always ran on. He's not politically correct. He gonna say the thing that people may be thinking, but it's just wrong to say all the time. He's gonna say that thing. And that resonates with a lot of people. You know what I mean? It resonates with a lot of people. He sells hope. You know what I mean? Make America great again, whatever his slogan is. That's what he sells. And, you know, a lot of people buy it. It is what it is. You know what I mean? I know I was talking to my mom. My mom was like shocked. I was like, yo, I told her, listen, it don't matter what you do. Donald Trump's going to be president again. But, you know, all right.
Real quick, is Thriller might be the best song ever made.
Thriller
might be the best song ever made. I don't know any song.
You caught me off guard. I gotta think.
Nah, I'm gonna tell you why. I don't think no song has the longevity / residualness of a Thriller. Never mind its money and stuff. Thriller was made like 1983.
Yes.
You haven't had a year of life that you've never heard Thriller. Not once.
No, I hear it every year at Halloween.
At least once.
Yes.
Easily. And first off, you know what's
since 1983.
You've never not heard it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's mad songs that Thriller's not a song you're like, oh, I ain't hear this in a while. Mm-hmm. You've never said that about Thriller. But let's break down Thriller. First off, Thriller is not even like a scary word. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. The song is about ghouls and goblins and being chased. This is what the song is about. This is what I was like, I'm looking at the video the other day because they was doing it over on one of these cartoons. I think Sing. And my son's watching everything and they're doing the video. But, you know, it's the cartoon and stuff. And I'm looking like, wait a minute, are they doing the whole Thriller? And he's sitting there glued to the TV. And I'm just looking like, oh, this is Thriller. I'm looking like kids know about Michael Jackson that should not know about Michael Jackson.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, first off, just breaking it down too. I was listening to it the other day afterwards because, you know, it got stuck in my head. And I was like, who made this track? Like, you little things, I start thinking of, like, wait a minute, we know the song, we know the iconic dance. I'm like, who the hell produced it?
Was Thriller Quincy Jones?
No, see, Quincy Jones, God rest his soul, Quincy Jones threw his name on a lot of things. But I want to know who actually laid the track. Now, we're going to find out. We're going to find out right now who produced Thriller. His name is going to come up, but I don't know if he, you know. Yeah, Quincy Jones and Jackson previously worked on Off the Wall. Maybe Quincy did it.
Quincy produced it. This is what I'll say about Quincy Jones. He was a producer in every
Sense of the word.
Sense of the word.
Okay.
So what I'm not going to do is, because if I'm not mistaken, Quincy used to play a trumpet.
Yeah. No, not
saxophone. One
trumpet.
of them.
He was
a
a
trumpet.
Because
he used to play a trumpet.
Because Ray.
But then he couldn't play no more.
Okay.
We would have never even got producer Quincy Jones if he could play the trumpet. But what I say, when I don't want you to discredit like, him putting his name on things.
Rod Temperton. No, but he did that with his album Back on the Block.
I understand that, but he produced the album. He arranged it. He produced it. He was in the studio. He was arranging it. He brung the musicians in, told them what to do, everything. That's real production. It wasn't like, it's not production in the sense of like hip hop, like, I made the beat. You see what I'm saying?
Okay.
I produced a song. I brung the background singers in. I brung the singers in. I got the best drummer with the guitar guy, did a specific symbol for this. You know what I mean? Like that's production. I don't want to take anything away from Quincy Jones.
Cool. I didn't say it to take it away either. I was just wondering, and they said Rod Temperton. Yeah. So technically, probably Rod Temperton's the one that kind of put the sounds together and this, that, and the third in terms of that. But so with that being said, with the production thing, then why do they give my man Puff a hard time about him not being one of the top producers ever in hip hop? Because they boil you Puff down to make him the beat. They don't, all out the stuff you said, Puff does that. He did that. But when it comes to Puff, you're not the one making the track. You didn't do this, that, and the third.
But musicians don't. You see what I'm saying? Especially musicians at that time. You see what I'm saying? He had a team of musicians that included Stevie J and D, all these people. You see what I'm saying? He had a team of musicians who the hitmen. Yes, the hitmen who do produce music, but it was his ear, his production, his sauce that created a bad boy sound. You see what I'm saying? It was like, I always say this. It's the bad boy energy and stuff that he put on it that made it what it is. You see what I'm saying? We know, for example, the Lox is if not the best, one of the best hip hop groups ever.
Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Their album and Diddy sold the most records, though. You see what I'm saying? Because of the production of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, you can rap as great as you want to rap on the greatest of beats that you want to rap on too. But the production of the music is different when you get a producer, a true producer in the studio. That's why music is kind of watered down now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You got a nigga that make the beat, and you got a guy that rap, and then you put it out. You see what I'm saying? Yeah. It's not too much production. That's why I enjoy Tyler's album and stuff. You could tell it took some time for the production. It sounds different. He pulled different sounds, different samples, different things from everywhere. You know what I mean? It's different pockets, bridges on songs and stuff like that. Is a difference when there's a producer and then somebody that just made the beat. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I think that people that don't understand music kind of say that about Puff, like, he didn't make the beat. You know what I mean? He just put his name on it. No, he arranged things. He brought the guy in to make the beat. Then he brought the rapper in. Then he brought the background singer in. Then he brought everything in. Then he might have scrapped this, said we need a different beat. You see what I'm saying?
Because when you said it, when you talk about bringing people in, first thing I thought of, they clearly said when Big and Jay was doing Love the Dough for Big album, they said Puff left. Hour later, he came back with Angela Winbush. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because they probably had the sample, the I love you more, more than you know. They probably had that, and they probably would get a hood chick to sing it. Mm-hmm. And he probably was like, you know what? Why don't I just get Angela Winbush? Oh, you in New York? Or wherever they was at? Come to the studio. We're going to record this right now. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So that's why I'm like, he's definitely in my top 5 hip-hop producers, period. Now, I want to say across all genres because there's so many different. Because with that, he's not in the top 5 because there's so many great producers out there. You got people like Stevie Wonder that produces his own stuff. People like Prince that produces his own stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's hard to be considered a top person in terms of that across things.
Yeah.
Now, people that I would put in that rare air are the baby faces, Robert, Teddy, Stevie, Gamble and Huff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people.
It's a lot of
so
people.
You definitely have to genre it and things like that. So I was just thinking about that the other day and with the music and everything else, because like you said, it's watered down now. Make a beat, rap over it, sing over it.
Yeah.
And now they're starting, what's happening now, it's starting to be a lot of sampling. But it's like, because a kid the other day, they played a song, and I was like, who is that? They was like, that's Jacquees. I said, no, that's not. That's he got that from XYZ. It was something he was saying. And I was like, oh no, they got that from here.
But you got to understand, we old now.
You're old.
Nah. When you say, hey, no, it ain't, that's from there. We old. You understand? Because that's exactly what my moms was saying when I was listening to Puff. Like, oh, man, that ain't.
Man, that is Cephas and Regis.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, he was like almost every song. He was like, nah, that ain't it. That ain't it. You know what I mean? Wow. So you got to understand, we them now. So when these kids are sampling these joints, we them. Like, we like, nah. Because they sampling stuff to us that's a part of our like not even our childhood, like adulthood. Like, that's classic stuff to us. You see what I'm saying? Like, and you know, I got a 16-year-old daughter, so she listening to stuff. I'm like, hey yo, TikTok done ruled the world. You know what I mean? Like, y'all listen to the classics. Don't even know you listening to classics. You know what I mean? It's crazy, man. All right, because we about to get out of here. Let's get to a few quick joints and we can go.
All right.
What you think about the Thug tweet? Thug tweeted and then took down, allegedly.
What do you say?
To Gunna, something to the effect of stop acting like we friends. You know what I mean?
So Gunna he was the dude that supposedly snitched on him. Because I didn't follow the trial. Be honest, I didn't follow the trial.
Gunna is his artist. You know what I mean? Gunna is out here moving, doing. He got arrested with him. He got out of jail. In order to get out of jail, he had to testify that YSL was a gang, in that he was in the car with Thug and the guns wasn't his. He never said the guns was Thug's, but it wasn't his and things like that. So yes, he had to testify to some things in order to get out of jail. He did. Now, a lot of people turned their back on Gunna because they called him a snitch, especially in the industry. But now Gunna is really kind of hot as fish grease right now. Thug just came out. A lot of people was waiting to see what Thug said, because a lot of people thought this was a part of Thug plan because Gunna need to move because he get paid as he move and he got lawyer fees. But, you know, it was a tweet and then it came down. You know what I mean? I just feel like I hope Thug didn't really tweet that, because I just don't want Thug to go back to jail. You know what I mean? Because it's like, you got to stay far away from that, because I believe that the feds is watching everything that man is doing. You know what I mean?
One more mistake, it ain't gonna be no long trial. It's gonna be a speedy trial, and he gonna get the whatever the maximum that. It ain't gonna be no more. We want your money and things like that. What about this old drummer Meek Mill? Supposedly said no Diddy gang and all that stuff. Now, before you go to that, I didn't see Meek say that. I thought that was somebody in the background saying it, because it looked like a bad voiceover. Like I watched the video 4 or 5 times. I didn't hear Meek say it.
I don't know. He probably said it. Even if he did, people was distancing themselves from Diddy. It doesn't look good for Puff. And I don't know. You wanted me personally, if I had a relationship with Diddy and I didn't see any of that stuff, I wouldn't say anything about it. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say something one way or the other. I won't hear like, yo, he was a good guy every time I seen him. And I'm also not like, yo, he trash. You know what I mean? Now, I can have an opinion because I don't know him. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's like me saying, that's like somebody alleging something about you that was crazy. They got mad evidence too. I don't care how much evidence they got. I didn't see it. Mm-hmm. So I don't have to say anything. You know what I mean? Either way. You know what I mean? So if he did say it, I don't like it. Because either you knew he was doing something crazy or you didn't. You know what I mean? And if you didn't know he was doing something crazy, you still don't got to say because that man is on trial. You know what I mean?
Puff will be back next year. Puff going to be out next year.
Puff will be back where?
On the streets.
Next year?
Next year. Mark my words.
So like 2025.
2025, he going to be out.
I don't know, man. The feds went to his house, man.
That's cool. He going to be out by 2025. 2025. He going to be out. Now, it may be next November. You know what I'm saying? Might be a year from now, from what I'm saying. I'm just saying, because it's looking like this. Unless he has something that's really damaging, which right now, to me, on the outside looking in, it looks like a smear campaign. Outside of him beating Cassie, that was a very bad look. And it definitely
He's not on trial for that, though.
Not even on trial for that. So all these videotapes and stuff like that. And I ain't saying he's going to snitch, but he's definitely going to be like, oh, can't freak off by myself.
So my thing is this.
How you in jail for a freak off?
If it's a smear campaign, right?
Yeah.
This is why listen, man, if he guilty of the things, then he need to be in jail forever. But if he's not, then, you know, wish him well. Hope he gets out next year. But it's hard for me to believe that he'll get out next year, because if it's a smear campaign, then it's a reason why it's a smear campaign. And whoever is doing this must be pretty powerful. You know what I mean? Because you know, Puff was a powerful man himself. So I don't know about 2025, but, you know, good luck to him, man. I mean, all right, what you think about another quick one?
You don't even got the camera on you.
Yeah, you got another quick one. Jaleel White said that he didn't want to do the reboot of Family Matters. Netflix came to him, said he was on some interview, said a couple years ago, Netflix came, said they want to do a reboot of Family Matters because Fuller House did so well on Netflix. You know what I mean? And he was like, nah, it don't make sense. And then he said what would make sense is a show geared around me, a kid who rose to fame on Family Matters and wasn't supposed to, because he wasn't supposed to be the star of that show. Mm-hmm. Like, he was supposed to be kind of on it for comedy relief. What do you think? What are your thoughts on that?
Did they give him the show?
No, they wanted to. He said no.
Hold on, they wanted to give him the show that he pitched?
No, they did not give him the show that he pitched. They said beat it, like Family Matters.
Well, there's your answer. Can't be overvaluing yourself, even though this sounds like a great story and put it that way. But if they step to you, and on top of that, I don't know what Jaleel White is at financially. Pretty sure he's above the average American. But at the same time, it's a check involved. Your uncle, maybe they have a whole lot of input that they need from you, and they'll do some things on his joint. But if he shut it down the way he shut it down, then here we are. But I'm pretty sure it wasn't hinging on just him. Because if it was hinging on just him and they didn't want to go forward, they would have bent to what he wanted to do, because they need him to do it. This is my thing. and this is why I'm saying it before you go. Daniel Radcliffe, you know who that is?
Mm-hmm.
That's Harry Potter.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who his agent is, but I know his agent is like, this is Harry Potter. Right. You can't replace him. Dumbledore, who I don't know if you follow, the original Dumbledore passed away years ago.
Yeah.
You can get away with that. Hermione, Weasley, all of them, their lawyers is all in cahoots like, we are Harry Potter. And so when their lawyers are stepping to because you know they made billions of dollars. When they step in, not the kids, not them, but when they step into the franchise of Harry Potter, they're like, yeah, we're going to need some of that book money sale. We're going to need this residual. We're going to need that because you can't replace us. You can't even move with the story without us. Because think about it, Elijah Woods, that's Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's got the same type deals. Certain people, they're going to bend to their will because I don't even know what else them dudes do anymore. And the only thing I've ever seen Sean Astin in, that was the guy that was with, it was Frodo. He was the sidekick. Sam.
Yeah.
Whatever. Sam. Only thing I ever seen him in was The Goonies. And that was it. You see what I'm saying? But I'm saying all that to say, because it's rounding back to Jalil, they're going to still move forward. They may not play Urkel in it. They might give them a couple of dollars for an episode or two. Like, okay, we'll pay you XYZ. And since you really don't want to do the whole thing, we'll even put some, it's just what I think, we'll even put a little cherry on top. We was going to give you $25,000 for episode. We'll make it 50 because we know we need you for 2 episodes. But they're still going to move forward with it.
Nah,
I'm telling you.
They not. It was years ago.
Oh, it was years ago, so why you bring it up now?
It was a money grab. He was doing an interview.
Oh, snap.
You know what I mean? It was a money, it was a money grab for Netflix because Full House had a reboot. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuller House.
I thought that was stupid.
You know what I mean?
Anyway.
And he was like, nah, it don't make sense. You know what I mean? But, you know, me personally, I think, because they say that Jalil White is an asshole. You know what I mean? He didn't really fuck with the niggas on this show. You know what I mean? And I think that he got a little bit of bread from he in the marijuana business. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Got a little bread, so he don't really need that bread. Like, you know what I mean? Okay. He good. So he was like, nah, I'm cool, man. Not unless you gonna do a show about me, nigga. Fuck them niggas. He said, unless you gonna do a show about me, I don't want none of them niggas on this show. That was crazy. I mean, I just saw Wallow. Shout out to Wallow. Did you see that clip of Wallow and Kodak Black?
Nah,
he was just giving them words of, encouragement, telling them that, that how Wallow is, telling him to live his life for his kids and everything, because Kodak is in a bad place, man. That addiction is kicking his ass, man. Addiction is a tough thing. I always tell people all the time, I can deal with a lot of things in a relationship. I can't deal with addiction. Like if my woman became addicted to like alcohol or drugs or something, I would have to get away from it.
Please. My woman has only one thing to get addicted to. Just dick. That's about it. On that note,
it's crazy.
Listen, I don't hear that shit, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, get yourself together, brother. You know what I'm saying? That's it. I'm praying for you. This is Oshin. This is Oshin's View. Willie Negro. We out of here.
Peace.